Today is Friday of the third week of Lent. And today, a reading from the Gospel, according to Mark. One of the scribes came up to Jesus and said, "Which is the first of all the commandments?" Jesus replied, "This is the first. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is Lord alone. Therefore you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the second. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." The scribe said to him, "Excellent teacher, you are right in saying, 'He is the one, there is no other than he.' Yes, and to love him with all our heart, with all our thoughts, and with all our strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves is worth more than any burnt offering or sacrifice." Jesus approved the insight of this answer and told him, "You are not far from the reign of God." And no one had the courage to ask him any more questions. No one had the courage to say anything else because they felt that the man was pretty succinct. But he wasn't, really. All he did was reiterate what Jesus said and affirm what he said. He didn't say how he would live those two commandments. He didn't say, "Hey, in my life, I am doing this to honor God," or "I have done this out of love for neighbor as myself." That's why it's important that, yes, he was not far from the reign of God, because he at least acknowledged what Jesus said. But he had a ways to go because he had to start taking what was on the page and putting it into action. The final question for this week: how are you practicing these two sacraments, these two commandments in your life today? We're about halfway through Lent. This is our last 5 minutes with Father Len for the week. I ask you to think about your Lenten practices. Where are you halfway through? And think about how much you can accomplish in the next 3 weeks. Do not feel that you haven't done anything, because it is a process. It doesn't happen like this. Take the time, use it wisely, and use this time given to you by God to not be a time to make excuses, but a time for action.